Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to Sportsmemo's College Football Forecast. My friends, we come to you Thursday during the college football campaign, bringing you tons of free winners, amazing betting insights, and a few laughs to boot from some of Sportsmemo's documented leaderboard fixtures. So grab that helmet, lace up those cleats, and get ready to make money in college football this weekend because we have an all-star Thursday panel for you. Let's bring the crew on, Chris. What a good-looking cast we got today. Oh, my God, let's go around. We've got the First Lady of Las Vegas, Dionne D'Amico, the Iceman, Jesse Schule, and Dan the Man Kaiser. Let me start. Good afternoon, Dan. Long time no see. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here with you guys again today.
Happy to be just down the hall from you. It's nice to have you. Nice to have you in the house today. My good buddy, Jesse Schule. You know, Jesse and I do a lot of Sports Memo TV content, but we haven't shared a screen in a couple of days. Jesse, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Coming off a bit of a rough weekend last weekend, but looking to get it all back here this Saturday.
Let me just tell you, Jesse, after the start you've had since August in football, you're okay. Nobody's getting mad at you for having an off weekend. And the champion you are, I know you'll bounce right back this weekend. My good buddy, I woke up with Dan Kaiser today. No, we didn't do a show. We were in bed together. My good buddy, Dan Kaiser, good afternoon. How are you today, buddy?
Doing all right. Had a good Sunday. Kind of a rough week, but I'm doing better than Kyrie Irving at the moment.
We're already throwing frying pans. I love it. I love doing a show with this panel, guys. I had ranted and raved today about Derek Carr. Jesse and I talked about a player or two before the show started, and Dan Kaiser's throwing some stuff out about Kyrie. I love it. It's going to be a great show, so don't go anywhere, guys. Before we give out our first of 3 roundtable games and our best bets, couple of quick announcements. Make sure to hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss any of sports betting content here at Sports Memo TV. Second, guys, every show I bring it up, you know why? Because it's true. The customer appreciation you receive from Sports Memo is unrivaled. We know that saving you money just as good as making you money. Now, real quick, the $2 Tuesday feature cappers. Guess what? Those 3 5% plays are still available. Let me tell you who is on the $2 Tuesday feature cappers. JM Sports, that's Chef Michaels. Insider's Room, that's Nick Parsons. And Don Buster. Guys, all 3 cappers, their plays are still available. You can get them $2 a piece, or really the deal of the century. All 3 cappers, $5. That's great stuff. Also, we've got a great football discount. Get $100 off any football season package, including a combo package. Use code Touchdown100 upon checkout. Remember, guys, go over to www.sportsmemo.com after the show. Take advantage of those amazing discounts we currently have offered. Plus, make sure to hit that deals page. Hit that deals page every day. There are times that even us cappers don't even know we have a special up there. Now, guys, I want you to know every successful sports bettor and sports handicapper I know use the Gold Sheet, the most respected and oldest betting publication out there. So after the show, www.goldsheet.com. Use what the pros use. Now, before we get into our roundtable games, you know how I like to do it. I'm a quickie guy. I love an afternoon quickie. Every week we talk about certain line movements in college football here on the College Football Forecast Show. And these are provided by my good friends at my favorite sports book in the world, the Superbook at the Westgate. We've got 3 big line movements for you. Now, we talk about how the general public, the weather conditions and injuries, among other things, can influence the line and move it during the week. But these 3 specific games are moved by the wise guys or the smart money players here in Southern Nevada, and we wanted to make you aware of them. First, Kansas goes from +3.5 down to +1. Smart money coming in on the Okie State Cowboys. Minnesota goes from 13.5 up to 16. Oh, my goodness. They're all over the Golden Gophers. And SMU went from 1 up to 3.5. The Sharps are all over the Mustangs. So 3 line movements. Obviously, smart money, Okie State, Golden Gophers, Mustangs, 3 line movements specifically moved by the smart money here in Southern Nevada. Without any further ado, we have 3 amazing roundtable games, then a best bet segment. So let's get into our first of 3 roundtable games, guys. Between the number 1 and number 3 teams in the nation, this is going to be a great game. Most of the money, early money coming in on the Vols, but the Bulldogs have taken 5 consecutive meetings straight up, going 4-1 in this series. Tennessee, Georgia, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday. Bulldogs, 866.5. Let's go to the Iceman himself, Jesse Schule. Jesse, the floor is yours.
Well, Joe, this is it. The game of the year, the big one, the one that you're going to want to watch this weekend. And I think a lot of people were surprised when they saw Georgia open. They opened at an even bigger favorite. They've since been bet down. A lot of people betting on Tennessee here. Situationally, I don't think this is a great spot for Tennessee. coming in 8-0, coming off that 44-6 win over Kentucky. Tough road game at Georgia, but getting 8 points, it's hard to pass up on that. I do think if you like Tennessee here, the way to play them is for the first half. If you look at Tennessee, they are averaging 27.4 points per game in the first half alone, which is, of course, number one overall in the country. Josh Heupel's game script, the plays that he runs right off the bat in the first quarter have been pretty good, pretty hard to defend. If you look at them in their game against Alabama, they led 21-7 in the first quarter, 28-20 at halftime. I believe they've covered the first half line in all of their games so far. I'd have to like Tennessee for the first half here.
Great stuff. All right, good buddy Jesse Schule, the Iceman cometh. Guys, Jesse said if you like Tennessee, go Tennessee first half, but he does put a little lean on. Jesse's doing some great work at Sportsmemo. I'll tell you more about that, how he's doing over at Sportsmemo during his best bet segment. Great stuff, Jesse. What we come to expect from you. Thank you. Let's go to our good buddy, Dan the Man Kaiser. I know it's a college football show. The last 30-plus days, one of the hottest guys on the planet in the NFL. Had to bring that up. Dan's going to give you his take. Tennessee, Georgia, Dan. Bulldogs, 8, 66.5. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I like a lot of what Jesse was saying, and I agree with a lot of what he's saying. Just look at this Tennessee team. Their offense has just been unstoppable. And the thing about Georgia right now is their the thing about how it's a bad matchup, I think, for Georgia is their secondary is bad. They just lost their best defensive player. They're going against a Tennessee team that just plays up tempo all the time. And I think that's going to cause them problems. And this Georgia team, yeah, they look great against Oregon, but they struggle against Kent State. They gave up points to Florida, and I've kind of got a side in this one, but I think it's going to be a premium play. I like the total. I think this game will go over the 66. I think Tennessee will get theirs, and the problem with Tennessee is as great. I think Tennessee is on offensively. Their defense is bad. They played well against Kentucky. They held Kentucky. Maybe people saying maybe the number one draft pick in Levis. They held him to 98 yards passing, but the rest of that offense is terrible anyway. So I think Georgia will get theirs. Will get some points. And I like the over. I think both teams I think this is going to be like an Alabama-Tennessee game. I think both teams are going to get in the high 30s to 40s. So take the over 66.
Great stuff from Dan Kaiser, who said take the over 66. Bear with me, guys. During Dan's breakdown, I got a little shocked at something he said. I thought I was having a heart attack. I had to take a Valium. He actually said, I agree with a lot of what Jesse has to say. That's never happened before. Another first here on the college football forecast. Guys, I love it. I love it. That's like me agreeing with my mother-in-law. I got to tell you that. Guys, I love Dan Kaiser. He's doing great work over at Sportsmemo. I do like to have fun, but he said over, lots of scoring. He expects something like a Tennessee, Alabama. Great breakdown, Dan. Thank you for that. Guys, let me just run it down one more time. And then after the 3 roundtable games, I'll run them down again just to let you know. Jesse said Tennessee first half. Dan said the over, Tennessee, Georgia. Let's go to our second roundtable game. And, these roundtable games this week, one is better than the previous. I'll tell you that. 2 SEC teams that know each other well and truly dislike one another. I have to say that. That's an understatement. Going back a decade, Bama has taken 9 of 10 straight up, covering 6 of those 10. Last year's matchup settled by just 6 points, though. I know where the money's going here in Vegas, the early money already. But this is a very interesting matchup. This has serious implications on the polls this week. I'll tell you that. Alabama, LSU, tied 13.5, 56.5. Let's go to the prettiest person on the panel, Dionne D'Amico, the First Lady of Las Vegas. Dionne, give us your breakdown on this, please.
I'm going to take a much different approach handicapping the Alabama-LSU game than most. Currently, the Crimson Tide are ranked 6th in the polls. All of the teams ranking ahead of them have games going off this Saturday. Now, I doubt that Michigan is going to lose to Rutgers or Ohio State to Northwestern, but Clemson has a tough game facing Notre Dame. Then there is what I feel to be the most exciting matchup, Tennessee versus Georgia. And obviously in that game, someone has to win and someone has to lose. But no matter what, there will be at least one team ahead of Alabama in the rankings that will lose this Saturday. This is a perfect opportunity for them to make a strong showing against a worthy adversary. LSU is a very good team. I'm not going to argue that. But the Crimson Tide know if they have another loss this season, their shot at the college football playoff is almost impossible. They don't have the toughest opponents coming up, so this is a game they must take seriously to impress the pollsters. The Crimson Tide, they possess by far the strongest defensive unit that the Tigers have seen this season. I feel they're going to not just play very tough here, but completely shut down LSU. And when Bama has the ball, we all know they put up points on any team in the nation. Nick Saban isn't going to let any ideal opportunity for this team to jump in the rankings slip away. So I'm going to go ahead and take Alabama and roll Tide.
First lady of Las Vegas is Alabama. You know, sports fans, I got to tell you, I live with her. I've been with her for 22 years. Dan, I got to say, your breakdown and your angle on this matchup, no trends, no streaks, no BS, just kind of a real thought-provoked angle on it. And I've got to tell you, really made a lot of sense to me. As you were talking, I was getting more and more into what you were saying. Great breakdown. I think it's one of the best breakdowns we've ever had on any of these shows. Really respect that. First lady of Las Vegas says, roll Tide.
Roll
Guys,
Tide.
What's that?
Roll Tide.
You got to love it. By the way, Dice is barking. He hears you down the hall, so he's barking. My good buddy Jesse Schule is going to take his shot at the Alabama LSU matchup. And, you know, as entertaining as he is informative, Jesse Schule, let's see if he agrees with Dionne. Dionne, that really was a good breakdown. I got to tell you that. It's not because you're my wife. I'm impressed with that. Let's go to Jesse Schule. Bama, LSU, Crimson Tide, 13.5, 56.5. The Iceman, it's all yours.
Well, Joe, I think I do agree with the First Lady. Everything she said sounds pretty accurate to me. You know, LSU doesn't appear to be the team that is equipped to upset Alabama the way that Tennessee did. Over the years, we've seen the teams that have beat Alabama have had a quarterback that can pick apart their secondary. Doesn't look like Jaden Daniels is that guy. That being said, I'd have the Crimson Tide favored by about 9.5 here if I was looking at betting on them, and that number creeping up to 13.5 has me thinking the other way. When you look at Alabama on the road this year, 3 road games, Texas, Arkansas, and Tennessee. We know they lost to Tennessee. They gave up 52 points in that game. They probably should have lost to Texas. If you remember, there was a controversial targeting penalty in the end zone that was really shifted that game. That ended up being close, and Texas could have easily won that game outright. And then the Arkansas game, you look at that game, Alabama went into the fourth quarter leading by just 5 points. So that was a competitive game, but Alabama, of course, blew them away in the fourth quarter, and it ended up looking a lot more lopsided than it actually was. And we got LSU at night. Tough place to play. Historically, these games have been close. As I mentioned, Jaden Daniels has not been great overall this year, but in his last 3 games, 6 touchdowns, 1 pick, 3 straight games completing over 70% of his passes. The coaches approached him and said, listen, we need you to take more chances, quit taking the safe, short passes. You got to push the ball downfield. And since they've had that conversation with him, he's been pretty good. They do have Keyshawn Butte, love that name, coming on. He was expected to be their best wide receiver. The last time he played Alabama, he had 8 receptions for 111 yards. That was it back in 2020. If he has a big game, if Jaden Daniels has a big game, LSU could hang here. I think this is too many points. I put a lean on LSU.
Well, great stuff, my good buddy Jesse Schule. Quoting TLC, he says, and so I creep, yeah. He says the line creep up. Chris is laughing in the back. He says the line creeping up from what he thought it was about 9.5, what they should have been, up to 13.5. He says LSU hangs. So we have our first real discrepancy of the show. Dionne says Alabama. Jesse says LSU because that line's a little too high. They're going to keep it a lot more competitive. Good stuff. Guys, don't go anywhere. We have another roundtable game before our best bet segment. And our third roundtable game, another doozy. You know, it's a very tough game. I looked at this, the handicap. I was going to chime in on a couple of these games. Jesse, Dionne, and Dan are doing such a good job. You don't need my 2 cents, guys. But I will tell you, this is a very tough game to handicap. And I'm interested to see what our cappers have to say about it. 2 ACC teams both sitting at 2-2 in conference play. Wake Forest comes in here covering 4 of their last 5, while NC State riding an 0-5 ATS slide. Wake Forest, NC State, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Demon Deacons are 4, total 54. Let's go to Dan the Man. Dan Kaiser. Dan, take it away.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Joe. And actually, just Dionne, just so if you know, real Alabama fans just say "roll damn Tide," not just roll Tide, but just keep that for future reference. But hey, yeah, this game, you know, I've been a Wake Forest fan for most of the year. You know, I love Sam Hartman. I think he's a great quarterback. You know, the Clemson game was a big disappointment because I thought Wake Forest would have had a real chance to make a splash in the college football playoffs. And then last week happened. I was on them last week, and yeah, you know, to be honest, I went to the store. It was 14-13 at the half, and I came back and the game was over, and it wasn't a good over. So, you know, I look at this game. I mean, yeah, you know, they have a good offense. You know, they're playing a team with NC State that their offense is just their offense. They were good at the beginning of the year, and then they lost their starting quarterback. They won a game last week that they should have lost. So I'm not even gonna look at a side in this. I'm gonna look straightly at the total. You know, Wake Forest matters 21 points last week. I don't see them scoring a lot against that NC State defense. It's the one thing that NC State does have is their defense. You know, they lost their starting quarterback in Leary. They scored 22 or fewer points in 4 straight games. And you know, the backup quarterback played well last week, but I just think it was against the competition they played against. The over-under sitting at 54. I don't see how these teams are going to get in the 20s, so I'm taking the under.
Dan Kaiser, you know, he's real good at these totals in this college football. As a matter of fact, one of the sharpest college football minds I've ever worked with. He says under Wake Forest, NC State. That line is currently 54 on the total. He says under, like something. Good breakdown, Dan. Thank you. Very informative. We appreciate that. Let's go to the First Lady of Las Vegas. Let's see if she can be as entertaining and informative as Dan and Jesse have been the last few rounds. Dionne, Wake Forest, NC State, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Demon Deacons 4-54. The floor is all yours.
Joe, you know, it's hard enough trying to handicap in-state rivals. And if this game had taken place a few weeks ago, I would have definitely put a big lean, if not a play on Wake Forest. I don't normally judge a team by the previous week's performance, but it's hard to overlook the fact that the Demon Deacons meltdown at the hands of the Cardinals last week. They committed 8 turnovers, most of which happened in the second half after they went into the break leading 14-13, only to lose 48-21. Then we look at the Wolfpack, which haven't covered a game since mid-September. And their game last week against the Hokies, maybe they eked out by 1-point victory, but they were a 12-point favorite and should have crushed Virginia Tech. Mm-hmm. Wake Forest has won and covered 4 of the last 5 meetings, and they should definitely be in bounce-back mode. However, I don't know mentally if they can recover from the loss. NC State certainly has a very good defense. I mean, they allow just 17.4 points per game, and they are one of the best in the nation at creating turnovers, telling 10 takeaways. Guys, I think this game is too hard to handicap on this one. I think there are better games on the board. I'm staying away on it.
Dionne D'Amico, the First Lady of Las Vegas, said she's staying away. You know, sports fans, I can respect a handicapper as much as if they're going to stay away from a game and they say they're staying away, they think it's a tough game, as if they're saying I have a very strong play on this game, a very strong feeling. Great stuff, Dionne. Great stuff. We love it. We love it. We love it. By the way, tallying 10 takeaways, say that 10 times quick. Anyway, guys, let me run down all 3 roundtable games just once again. Tennessee, Georgia. Jesse says he likes Tennessee in the first half. Dan says definitely likes the over 66. Our second roundtable game, Bama, LSU. Dionne said roll damn Tide.
Roll damn Tide.
And Jesse said too many points. It crept up high. He said, and so I creep, so he likes LSU. And then the third round table game, Wake Forest, NC State. Dan says under. He's really good. Very, very sharp with these totals in college football. Dionne said she's staying away. Better stuff on the board, but don't go anywhere, guys. The most exciting portion of the show. Our best bet segment. Guys, so without any further ado, and I'm even going to chime in at the end of this, give my 2 cents. I have a best bet I want everybody to have. And I think my free plays over the last week are like 12-4, so I'm very happy about that. My good buddy Jesse Schule, he started at the beginning of the show. He says, well, I cooled off a little bit. But when you are as hot as Jesse has been since August on the gridiron, college and pro football, not one or the other, on both, you got to cool off 1 week. He says last weekend he cooled off a bit. But then again, when you are as hot as Jesse was going, and he was scorching bookmakers, I'm surprised he wasn't on the FBI's most wanted list, I'll tell you that. He was killing bookmakers for like 10, 11 weeks. Everybody deserves a tough weekend. But knowing Jesse, the capper that he is, and his numbers over the last several decades, guys, he has an off weekend. He turns it right back around. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what he's going to be doing on the premium side. And he's the free best bet for you. Jesse Schule, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, we talked about the tough losses on Saturday last weekend, but we're going to get some back here this Saturday. Right now, I'm excited about the beginning of college basketball. And in the year of 2022, I've gotten off to some really hot starts with a variety of different sports. One of those being college basketball. I was 8-0 in the first round of the NCAA tournament. I got off to a 10-0 start with NFL this season. I won 21 of my first 24 college football picks. So what do you think I'm going to do in the first couple weeks with college basketball? I guess you probably want to find out and you want to get involved and subscribe now. But let's get to the best bet, because I got a doozy for you, because everybody wants to know what's going to happen between Temple and South Florida. Between the two of them, they have zero conference wins, 0 wins against FBS teams. Temple's 2-6. South Florida is 1-7. I got my eye on this game because South Florida has had an unbelievable schedule. They've played some really tough teams. 3 of their opponents have been ranked in the top 25. They lost to Florida and Cincinnati, but by a combined 7 points. Their starting quarterback, Bohannon, is out for the season. His replacement, Katavius Marsh, has thrown for 473 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks. And that no picks is quite significant because his counterpart, E.J. Warner, Kurt's little boy, has thrown 4 touchdowns and 8 picks in his last 5 games. Temple is bad. They can't protect the quarterback. I think this South Florida team is just a better team. They got a chance to get a conference win here. So I'm going to roll with the South Florida Bulls.
Jesse Schule, guys, one of the best cappers in the world, documented right now and has been for decades. Says South Florida. Jesse, just so I'm clear for our viewers out there, the line is currently 3.5. They don't need to buy this down. You're very confident this, even at 3.5. Is that correct?
That's right.
Great stuff from Jesse Schule, guys. After the show, go over to Sportsmemo. Take advantage of those great customer appreciation discounts. Follow Jesse. And numbers don't lie. Go check out his numbers. They are amazing. All right. He is a winner. You'd be a winner, too, if you follow him. Speaking of winners, my good buddy, Dan Kaiser. Sorry, the dogs are they're going nuts. They hear Dionne down the hall. My good buddy, Dan Kaiser, over the last 30-plus days in the NFL. I know it's your college football show in the NFL. Hottest capper on the planet. Doesn't matter where you go. He's hot. And I got to tell you, he's one of the sharpest minds in college football today. I do a lot of content here at Sportsmemo TV with Dan, and he is a winner. And his betting analysis and angles and insights with college football just amaze me. I sit back and I take notes when I listen to Dan. He's like the old E.F. Hutton commercials. When E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Well, when Dan Kaiser talks college football, people listen. Guys, Dan's going to tell you what he's been doing, what he's going to be doing on the premium side, and he's got a free best bet for you. Dan Kaiser, the floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. And to be honest, I've only been on this site for a few months, and the one thing I do like about this site is, like Jesse said, he had a bad Saturday, and I just like the site that, everybody comes on, and if you have a bad day or bad 2 or 3 days, people come out and say they have a bad day. It's not like, nobody comes on here yelling about best bets and game of the years and, what's going to go on in the future. That's why I like this site. And, I am I have been the number one in NFL recently, but my other picks have not been up to par recently. So, that's it. Look at the leaderboards, take it what it is. Look at the guys that are hot in certain sports and go with them. And then, why wouldn't you? I guess my best bet this week, it's one of the games that the other guys have touched on. It's in the Tennessee, Alabama, or not Tennessee. It's in the
LSU.
Yes, Alabama, LSU. Thanks, Joe. I was just getting off a little bit here. But yeah, I look at this game and I look back, 4 weeks ago, Tennessee came in to LSU 140-13, and they seem to have a game plan to stop Daniels. And I look at this. Hey, listen, Saint Nick is not gonna pass that by. I think Alabama has better speed at linebackers. They have a better defense, even. And I just think that Alabama will come in and control this game, probably on the ground, running the ball. I just don't see LSU scoring a lot of points in this game. And I like Alabama to win this game. I like this game to go under the total.
All right. Dan Kaiser says he likes Alabama to win and LSU. Dan, just so we're clear, you like Alabama minus the points and under. Is that correct?
My play is Alabama under.
Is under. Okay. I just wanted because I wanted to make sure everybody out there knew what you were giving out. Guys, Dan Kaiser says under in this Alabama LSU game. Great breakdown as usual, Dan. Thank you. Guys, Dan is hot as a firecracker in the NFL. He's hot overall. His numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie, period. After the show, make sure you go to Sportsmemo. Go follow Dan. He is a winner. Speaking about winners, if you need any proof how much of a winner our next panelist is, she married me. That's all you need. I could drop the mic on that one, guys. Dionne D'Amico finished college football last year, number 2 at Sportsmemo. All over the leaderboard, MLB. All over the leaderboard, NFL. All over the leaderboard, college football. However, let's talk about ice and on the hardwood. 5-0 her last 5 plays between hockey and NBA. I know it's a college football show. She is as hot as any capper in the world today. She's going to tell you what she's been doing, what she's going to be doing on the premium side, and she's got another free best bet. And just so you know, guys, and Chris, our producer, I went back and I checked this. The last 3.5 to 4 months on all the shows combined, on the college football, the pro football, the Sports Memo TV today, and the First Family Show, Dionne's free plays are over 80%. If a free plays can get that, what do you think a premium plays can do for you? I'm psyched because she is amazing. Dionne D'Amico is going to tell you what she's been doing, what she's going to be doing. She got another free best bet. Dionne, take it away.
Yeah, on today's plays, I did pass on all of the premium plays today. But like Joey did mention, I did have 3 straight NHL releases, and my NBA is hitting 66.7%. My college football and pro football did hit a little snag this weekend, but it's okay because we're going to bounce back big this weekend. All of my plays will be posted by tonight, and that will include a 5% and a 10% play in football. So make sure you head on over to the site later tonight and pick up those winners. And for my best bet today, Texas has had their way with Kansas State, winning the last 5 meetings in a row straight up. However, things are a little different this season, and I truly believe the wrong team is favored here.
Wow.
I have the Wildcats a 2-point favorite in this matchup on my power rankings. The Longhorns were off last week after being beaten by the Cowboys, a team in which got a drubbing at the hands of K-State 48-0 last week.
Wow.
Struggling Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers is in for a long day here facing the 11th ranked Kansas State defense. On the flip side, I do look for one of the most explosive rushing attacks in the nation to control the clock and the tempo of this game. Off the legs of running back Deuce Vaughn, Kansas State will move the chains and keep the Texas defense on the field. The running game will allow the passing game to open up. The Longhorns also have a strong rushing attack in running back Bijan Robinson, but because their erratic play at the quarterback, their running game is all they really have to rely on. They are also crushing bettors, going 3-9 ATS the last 12 against conference opponents, 1-5 ATS the last 6 in November, and 1-5 ATS the last 6 on the road. I like Kansas State outright here, but I will take a few points anyways.
Dionne D'Amico, the first lady of Las Vegas, won 5 straight between basketball and hockey. said she likes K-State. She doesn't like them outright, but she'll take the points. Good breakdown, Dan. Guys,
Thank
after the show, go follow Dan with these great customer appreciation discounts. You'll follow her to the back. I told you want proof that she's a winner? She married me. 22 years. Anybody that stays with me is a winner. I'll tell you that. Good stuff, Dionne. Thank you. She said she's bouncing back like a fat guy leaving an all-you-can-eat Vegas buffet. And he's bouncing, guys. We see that all the time out here. Guys, I'm going to take the floor for a moment and then finish up before we run down everything again and get on out of here and leave you guys to get all these bets in early for the weekend. My friends, I passed because I wasn't crazy about anything on the card. And to be honest with you, I looked at the short schedule today, NBA, MLB, NCAA football for tonight, which is Thursday, and I really felt it was a tough card. And guys, I got to tell you, I said it before and I said it, I'll say it again. I'm not going to gamble your money. If I'm not betting something, I'm not going to ask you to bet it. So I did pass tonight. However, being selective have once again brought me to what? The number one spot at Sportsmemo as an NBA capper in winning percentage, number 2 in profit. I will tell you the best big game under the planet will have his Saturday and Sunday college and pro football winner release up tonight. And I've got a couple of big games. You know I'm the best big game hunter on the planet. Last week, another 10-unit winner. Guys, my 10-unit winner, 17-2 in 2022. Get all my plays tonight, and you have a great winning weekend on the gridiron. Let me go to my best bet. I'm excited about this, guys. Sports fans, both Syracuse and Pitt are coming off back-to-back losses. However, I feel these two teams are in much different situations at the moment. The Panthers, which have covered just 2 games since last December, are not the same team they were a season ago, guys. Keaton Slovis has been shaky at best. They went from Kenny Pickett, who led an explosive passing unit, to the USC transfer, who's got the passing unit ranked 80th in the nation. I got to tell you guys, 80th is just horrible. I think Dionne Levine's like 79th. Just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. In any case, they still have to face a very angry Orange defense that allows just 18.4 a game and ranked 4th nationally against the pass. It's going to be a long day for Slovis. You know, there's talk that he may not be at the helm. I think he'll be at the helm at least to start. If he gets into trouble, it doesn't matter who goes there under center. They got to face the 4th-ranked passing unit in the nation. The Orange defense overall allows 18.4 a game, and like I said, they're ranked 4th nationally against the pass. Let's go back to the Syracuse back-to-back losses. I think we could all agree that when they played Clemson and Notre Dame, they played them very tough. They got 2 losses there. They played them both very tough. And losses are going to show a good coaching staff and a good team what they need to improve upon. And I believe the Orange will come back here this week a better team than before those 2 losses. Faux show. I know news this week is that quarterback Garrett Schrader is a little bit banged up, but just before we came on the air, the latest reports that he cleared the medical. He's going to be playing, all right, most likely. You know, they was going to put that most likely, probable. He's going to be playing. He gets to face a defense that's given up at least 24 points to 7 opponents this season. You want to know the only team that they didn't allow to score 24 points? Western Michigan. Let me repeat that again. Western Michigan. Me, Jesse, Dionne, Dan, our producer, Chris, we could light this team up for more than 24. I'll tell you that. And I'm 53. Guys, I see Syracuse bouncing back here, getting a big win for sure. They're 6-2 ATS. The last 8 played on the road, 8-3 the last 11 played following an ATS win, a loss, 10-4 ATS the last 14 versus conference opponents, and 6-2 ATS the last overall. This team is a covering machine. And getting them plus this hook, and I want this hook. I think they win this game outright, but get that 3.5, all right? And if you don't get it, shop it around. Before the show, I only saw 3.5. Since the show, the last hour or so, I don't know where the line has moved. You do see a 3, get it back to 3.5. I do like that hook, but I do think this team wins outright. This team has got a lot of talent. They're led by a good coach. They're going to win this game outright, but once again, 3.5. If you do see a 3 around, because things might have changed by the time I did the show, still play it, but I get that 3.5. Let's bring everybody back on, guys. Got a couple of announcements. I want to go around real quick. Dionne D'Amico, closing thoughts or comments for our viewers out there for the weekend.
Yeah, when you come visit the site, check out all of your favorite handicappers. Not only take a look at mine, Jesse's, Dan's, Joey's, what we have going on, and also make sure you take advantage of that $2 Tuesday that still is going on with the 3 cappers for $5. It's a great deal. They have 3 5% plays that are going off for the weekend, so you're going to have action for the whole weekend. There's someone out there that is fit for every person that you're looking for, whether it's myself, whether it's Jesse, Dan, Joey. There's someone for everybody out there. I will have all of my plays up for the weekend later this evening, so make sure you come on over, pick those up. We also do have that great deal going on right now where you can get $100 off of the football package, even a combo. All you have to do is use the code touchdown100 upon checkout, and you get $100 off a package.
Wise words from the First Lady of Vegas. By the way, Dan and Jesse, let you know a little secret. Dionne, during the show, called me Joe, and then she just called me Joey. When she calls me Joseph, watch out, I'm in trouble. That's all I want to say. We all know that from our spouses. Let's just throw it out there.
Actually, when he's really in big trouble, he gets Joseph and his middle name.
So I get Joseph Salvatore. Then I'm really in. Then I know I got to go jump on a plane and go stay with Dan up north. I'll tell you that. My friends, Jesse, Schule, any closing thoughts or comments for our viewers out there, please?
I'll just repeat what I said earlier. 8-0 start to the NCAA tournament last year. 10-0 start with NFL, 21-3 start with college football this year. What do you think I'm going to do with college basketball? You come and find out.
Love it, Jesse Schule. Love it, love it, love it. Dan Kaiser. Last words before the weekend. College Football Forecast show, all our viewers out there.
Well, if you need to come up here first, you can bring your dog. I think it'll get along with mine. Second, but I've been saying that you're going to come stay with me. But what have I done to you today recently? you knocked my Pistons earlier, and now you just got in Western Michigan, which is like 20 minutes from my house. I mean, and then now you're saying, "Oh, I'll just come stay with you," and you just basically pissed on both the teams around me. That's not a good way to ingratiate yourself into my household, but hey, I'll still take you, Joe. I love you.
I appreciate that. And Dan, I will tell you this. Dionne, me leaving Dionne and parting for a couple of days would be a vacation for her. But if I took the dogs, she'd sue me. She'd call the FBI. Trust me, I promise you.
I said one.
One.
Not all of them.
I'll take this one. You got it. I'll be there tonight, Dan.
Take
Get my side of the bed all ready, okay, buddy? My friends, don't forget to tune in. I'm sorry, don't forget to tune in to all of Sportsmemo TV's amazing content. Hit that subscribe button to get a reminder. You don't want to miss any of our Kappa's free winners or betting insights. Thank you for tuning in, folks. Remember, increase your chances of making a profit. Follow the best collection of cappers anywhere on the planet here at Sportsmemo, because we don't go winning, we go gambling. All right, my friends, it's about that time. We got to get out of Dodge. All right, on behalf of Sportsmemo, Dionne, Dan, Jesse, me, Joey D, everyone out there, good luck and have a winning